For the inside back cover, cut cardstock, you want one piece that is 7 1/8 by 6. And we're going to score this one. Put the 6-inch side in at the top and score at a 1/2 inch and 3/4. Your other piece is 7 inches by 7 1/8. Make sure you put the 7-inch side at the top, score at 1/2 inch and 3/4. Then you will cut 6 pieces that are 4 1/2 by 7, and we're going to score the 7-inch side at a 1/2 inch on each one. So a 1/2 inch on each one of these, so go ahead and score all 6 the same way. So we have all these cut and scored, ready to go inside the back cover. Fold and burnish each score line. On these 2 big pieces, this will give you a 1/4 inch gusset right here, or space. So go ahead and score all these, burnish really well. And you'll also want to go ahead and burnish the 1/2 inch score lines on all 6 of these flaps. These will make 4 1/2 by 6 1/2 inch photo mats. For the main flaps, I'm going to use the 1/2 inch corner rounder on the corners opposite of the hinges. So go ahead and punch those. And then take 3, you can have 2 sets of these photo mats. You're going to take one, you're going to lay it down with the hinge folded. Let's get the score. Just make it a little easier. Let's get the scoreboard and mat. The mat in there. Okay, so take one with the hinge folded down and line it up in here. Make sure the sides and the top are lined up. Take your second one and you're going to put glue right along the 1/2 inch flap. So it's folded like that. There's the flap. And then make sure this one's squared up, and you're going to stack them on top of each other. This is not like a regular waterfall. This is going to be even, one on top of the other. Just make sure you're getting them even. Okay, and burnish that down. And then you're going to add this one, the third one, right on top of that. So take your glue. I'm just going to line it up right here. Make sure it's lined up on the ends. Okay, so this creates like a photo mat booklet that will open and give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 photo places. So do the other one exactly the same. And there we have the second booklet. And you'll notice you still have one hinge free on the back of each one. So let's go ahead and put these into the back of the book. I'm going to put the top and bottom flaps first. Put this one here, and this one will flap down over it. So take your shortest one. Now go ahead and flatten it down so that you see the 1/4 inch on the top, the 1/4 inch line right here. You've got your 1/2 inch one here on the back. And go ahead and put your glue on, just the 1/2 inch. And this one's going to go along the bottom edge. And we're going to center it from the outer edge of the book towards the fold line. So you want about the same amount of space. It looks like about 1/8 of an inch from the fold. Actually, it probably would be better to put it more towards the cut edge here. So like 1/16 of an inch from the edge of the album. Burnish that down. Open it up and go ahead and burnish. And all this will be covered with pattern paper. Let me slide that up so you can see. So burnish that right there with it open, and then that closes back up, and you reshape your 1/4 inch gusset. So now this one's going to go on, and you want to make sure that you're getting them lined up together. So let's flatten this down so that you have the 1/4 inch fold line on the front, your 1/2 inch hinge right here, glue on just the 1/2 inch part, and then we're going to line this up with the top of the book and about 1/16 of an inch off the edge so that you're lined up down here with the book, with the flaps. And it's going to reposition it, make sure they're straight, and then go ahead and burnish. And reposition that. So now we are going to put a magnet on here. So reposition your 1/4 inch gussets, and let's grab the large magnetic snaps. You need a plus and a minus. Put them together metal to metal so you have paper on each side. Peel the backing off of one side, and we're going to lift this up, and I'm going to place it in the center about 3/4 of an inch from the top edge. Pull that backing off, and then make sure it is lined up before pressing down. Right there. So then we lift up, and until I get the pattern paper on, I'm going to put just a little bit of score tape on this one, on both of these, to secure them in place. Give one right here and one at the top, like that, and there. So now we're ready to open this up, and we're going to put our photo booklets in. And what I want is one here, and then one at the bottom. So you open up this way and that way. So let's take the top one. You have one free hinge here, so with it folded towards the booklet, you just put, this would be the back side, put the glue on the 1/2 inch. We're going to line this up at the top. Make sure it does not go over that fold line of the 1/4 inch. But you do want it straight and in line with the edge of the booklet, or the flap, the main flap. Like that. like that. And then the other one will go on this other side. Make sure it's lined up with the flap here. So it's about a 1/16 of an inch from the edge. And line it up across the bottom. I'm just double checking. Open it up and burnish. Now, as you see, these are not waterfalls where you can see each one, but you can lift up each flap like that. Okay, so I'm ready to pattern this. I'm going to pick out my paper for this back inside cover. Pick my pattern papers for this inside section, back section, and so you need to cut 2 that are 7 inches wide by 5 1/8 tall. This is for the short flap. And then you need 2 that are 7 inches wide by the 6 1/8 tall. Pay attention to how you want your pattern to go. It can go either direction with these little diaper pins. And then for the inside section, you want one that is 7 inches wide by 9 3/8 tall. We might have to adjust this a little bit once we get in there, but that is the cut that I made. So for these pieces, I think I want, like for this, I want the diaper pins on the top with a stripe on the bottom. So I'm going to make sure that I am taking the 1/2 inch corner rounder and just punching the bottom 2 corners of the top one for there, and the 2 upper corners for the bottom one on the front. And then I think I'm going to reverse it here. So I'm going to punch the top 2 on this one, and then the bottom 2. See, it was going to be the other one. Top 2 for this one for the stripe, like that, and then the top 2 of the diaper pins for the inside. Okay, just like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and mat this down with a glue. If you use the score tape on your magnet here, just pull that off. And then take your glue. And I'm going to add just a little bit extra glue right here. I'm going to hold this up so I can see to line it up. Down just a little bit more. So the glue gives you just a few seconds to go ahead and move if you need to, just like this. Okay, and burnish that down. There's that one. And I'm just going to flip this open so that I can see this a little better. Did I actually use the wrong ones? That's okay. Like this one here. So it's going to go right here. I used the wrong piece on the bottom, but it's still the stripe that I wanted, so it's okay. So and when you're picking your pattern papers, if you're using a collection, all your patterns go together well. They're all going to look good together. The colors match, but it also helps sometimes if you use the front and the back, because those really do coordinate well. Okay. And burnish that down. And let's flip it over so we can put this down. We'll take the tape off here. And this is going to be the opposite. I'm going to do the stripe on the inside, top flap. And also on these collections, if you're using the same collection as I am, you may prefer one side more than instead of the one that I use, and that's okay. And it makes your album a little bit different, but reflects your own personality. So here we go. Okay, and all we need is this bottom one here for this flap. Burnish really well over where that magnet is. Okay, then open up your photo flaps, and we're going to position this one. So let's dry fit it to make sure we don't need to trim it anywhere. And it should not go over these 1/4 inch spaces. A little train and airplanes are cute, but I'm going to use those in another place. Okay, so these are for photo mats. You do not have to put pattern paper on those. If you don't like the 1/2 inch here, you can put a little strip there, but I'm going to do that after I've finished the rest of the book to make sure that I have enough. So this comes up, this flaps down, and so there's that little inside there, and we're ready to start working on our pages.